This is GosuGamers at Dreamhack Winter 2009. I'm Raistlin and I'm sitting here with ZpuX from Templars for Twilight. You've just recently been eliminated from the tournament. You lost to Morrow in the loser bracket. Could you tell us a little bit more about that game?
Well, in the first game I got cheesed on Destination. I was kind of anticipating the rush he would do, but somehow I totally missed it. So I lost a pretty quick game there. And in the second game on Heartbreak Ridge, I won a straight up game. It was like 27 minutes or so. It was pretty decent, I think, at least. And then in the third game, I was doing pretty well, I thought, until 3 of my goons got stuck. And well, from then on it was pretty much over, because he was doing a 2-fact rush after his fast CC. So he was attacking with like 6 SCVs and 5 tanks. And I didn't have enough to hold it off.
What do you think of the Terran versus Terran matchup? Is it your strongest, or which matchup do you like the most?
I guess you meant PvT, not Terran.
PvT, absolutely.
Well, I think my PvC is my best matchup, because I've been practicing the most, especially with Naugrim and HeyPro. But then I would say PvT, Pros versus Terran, actually, because PvP, Pros versus Protoss, it's so much luck based, and it's a really hard matchup to play, because one little mistake is much more severe than in the other matchups.
So in the winners bracket, you first won against the Czech player Wonder, but then you lost to Naugrim, yes. Right? What happened there against Naugrim?
In the first game I was trying to do a 2-gate at my choke on Python, because I felt I had to do something different to get an early advantage. But somehow I messed that one up, because I was pretty much ahead. He made a lot of links and he didn't do any damage early on, so he had quite a few drones. But then I moved out with my 12 Zealots, because I was going to take down one of his hidden expansions, and then I got stabbed with like 20 links or something, and well, it was a stupid mistake. But from then on, the game, well, it was like a 25-minute game anyway, but I was kind of devastated after that early loss. So, well, not much to say about that game. And the second one, it was a 36-minute game on Blue Storm. It was pretty even, and in the end it was a fight about like 1 or 2 expansions, which I unfortunately lost.
Oh. So now that you're eliminated, what are you planning to do? Will you play Starcraft 2, or will you play the TSL ladder, or what are your plans for the rest of the tournament? The Dreamhack event, of course.
I'm going to play Starcraft 2 tournament today at 6 o'clock. Just to try it out. I didn't come here to play Starcraft 2 because well, I'm not really interested in that yet. I'm going to play the beta when it's released. But other than that, I'm going to play a few TSL games, because, well, it's fun at least. But then, well, nothing really planned. Going to hang out with other BB players here. It's pretty much why we are here, to hang out with each other.
So what is it with Starcraft 2 that you're not interested in? Why the lack of interest?
I don't feel I have enough time. Well, it's not released yet, so it doesn't matter if I have time or not, but it's just playing it one day doesn't really mean anything. And I'd rather wait until the beta is launched, until I can actually play the game and get any feeling for it.
But you did actually play one game here, you told me earlier. You played Zerg, I think. Tell me a little bit more about that one.
I played Zerg versus Terran against Alo, a friend here. Well, it was, I don't know, it was like playing the original Starcraft, because you did overpull build, and then you made 3 hatcheries, and then you made hydralisks, and then you attacked, and the game was pretty much over, because Zerg it feels like they are pretty much the same as in Brood War, but Terran and Protoss seem a lot more different, and they seem to be a lot harder to play as well.
Do you think Starcraft 2 will be as big as Starcraft 1, or do you think it's going to be better, a more united scene, or do you think it's going to be like the Warcraft 3 kind, or how do you think it will emerge?
I think it will be really, really big in the beginning, like when both the Warcraft 3 scene and the Starcraft scene merge, because there will be a lot of interest and a lot of big tournaments around it, especially around in Europe with a lot of prize money, I think. But honestly, I think it will fade away pretty fast after that, just like Warcraft 3 did, because I don't really see it having the same spirit as Starcraft did or does.
Okay. Speaking of prize money, we can continue talking a little bit about about TSL. You told me you're not able to, even if you're ranked high on the ladder, you won't be able to take part in the playoffs. Why is that?
I'm leaving for Australia during the Christmas period, and I'm coming home at like 11th January, and the qualification round start at the 9th January. So I kind of missed them with like 2 days or something. And well, I was maybe able to play if I managed to qualify from the ladder, to play the first qualification stage before I left for Australia. But I probably won't be home for the second and third qualification rounds either. So it doesn't matter, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame. What do you think of this year's DreamHack compared to the summer, for example? We had a lot of Russians here last time. Now we only have Brad OK and a couple of Czech players. Why do you think the interest is so smaller compared to this summer?
I think it has a lot to do with there was EF this year, another big tournament which took a lot of focus from the scene, and I think 3 big trips for players in such a short time span it's too much, I think. And well, Starcraft may be declining as well, so it might be, the interest might not have been so high this winter as it was in the summer, I think.
Yeah, that may be why. Nonetheless, we do have a playoff, and we have quite some interesting matchups. One of them is our foreigners, Brad OK versus Wonder. You've played Wonder before. I don't know if you played Brad OK before, but what do you think of the outcome of that game?
I think Brad OK will win in three games, I think, because he's such a stable player, and I had a feeling that Wonder is more a strategy-based player. He has to do something unordinary to win the games, but I think Brad OK will foresee it and will be able to predict the games.
Do you see Brad OK winning the whole tournament, or do you think any of the Swedish players have a decent chance to take him down?
It really depends on how the other matchups goes. For example, Nagrim, who's on the other side of the bracket, is playing ZpuX in the first game. I think ZpuX is the hardest opponent for Nagrim, so that's why if Nagrim managed to win versus ZpuX, I think he has a pretty good chance to take down Brad OK. But then we also have HeyPro on the other side of the bracket, who's also a big contender to the final win.
So we have 2 kind of new school players here, Enivid and Morrow, compared to you oldies, ZpuX and ZpuX and all those. What do you think of those players? Are they just as good as you, or do they lack something that you think is required for them to win the tournament?
I think Enivid is probably the one who has the biggest chance of those 2, because Morrow is pretty much a cheese player nowadays, and I don't really think he's any good at all. But Enivid seems to be a lot more stable and actually seems pretty solid, in my opinion.
He's a Protoss player just like you, Enivid, that is. Do you have a similar playstyle, or what differs you from him?
I think he has a more like harass-based playstyle, like with dropships and High Templars and maybe earlier Arbiters in certain matchups. And maybe he has a better strategic mind than me as well. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. I haven't seen him play that much.
Okay, well, I don't have that many more questions. So thank you for your time, and have a nice time the rest of the DreamHack.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.